Hello, everyone. It's Saturday the 27th, and again, I'm bringing another video here. So, and my main purpose is to give information from the other side that the mainstream media does not give. And I like Forbes because pretty much this video explains itself, this clip here. There's no reporter giving sound bites or cutting the clip to come in front and then say what they think about it, right? They just allow a clip of Trump's lawyer to explain the activities that happened in the court and left it as that at that. So we could take the pure information that she says from her mouth and then make an informed decision. Whether you believe what she's saying or not, at least we're getting information from her mouth from the other side, and not having a reporter come on television and then guide the clips and give sound bites just so they can take it to whatever narrative they choose. Okay, so this is a clip of her speaking about the activities that happen in the hearing. Okay, so let's get into the video here.
No, no. I'm glad you asked me that question. No, I'm not having any second thoughts about representing President Trump. It is the proudest thing I could ever do. What I'm having second thoughts about is the license that I stand here with that the people in there are supposed to have. I am not in because I respect my ethics while I'm on trial. But let me now speak about what has happened. I have sat on trial after trial for months in this state, the state of New York. Attorney General Letitia James, and now this. Weeks. Weeks. Why? Because President Trump is leading in the polls, and now we see what you get in New York. So don't get it twisted, whoever asked me that question. I am so proud to stand with President Trump.
Okay, just a brief thing. That means she's basically telling you, well, again, not to put words in her mouth, but my understanding of it is it's election year. So all these charges and everything is because it's election year. They're trying to put obstacles in the way of him running because he is beating everyone in the polls, Republicans and Democrats. So again, it's election year. This is just another obstacle. So that's just my understanding of this. Okay. All right, let's roll the video.
But I am not proud to stand with what I saw in that courtroom. I'm not finished. Let me just finish and I'll take questions, please.
Strong woman.
Before I walked into court, that judge decided that every single defense President Trump had, we were not allowed to raise in front of the jury. It is in writing, and I encourage the journalists, the real journalists, to take the minute to look at his orders. There was no proof. And I couldn't prove that she didn't bring in the dress. There was no DNA. There was no expert. My experts were denied. Two of them were denied to come in. They didn't let me bring up that Reid Hoffman funded Miss Kaplan. And you know what we got in there? That my witness, who was her friend, who said that she is a drug addict and the drug addict is herself. That friend, I found out in there, was paid for by Miss Kaplan's firm, and that is disgusting. That is a violation of everything I stand for, and that is why I stand with Trump.
Okay, just again I'm just giving little information from my understanding when she speaks on certain points. That's corruption. They're literally blocking evidence. They're blocking expert witnesses to provide evidence or what you might call discovery. Okay, that's corruption. It's almost like the incentives given to the courts to block information, and that by itself is corruption. So okay, they're literally blocking the information. They're blocking the defense from providing expert witnesses and information on the defense side. So let's continue.
And that is why so many Americans are so proud that he is running again and so excited to run to the ballot box. But don't get it twisted. We are seeing a violation of our justice system. Ladies and gentlemen, you are not allowed to be stripped of every defense that you have. You are not allowed to be told that you can't bring it up. And imagine a point where a judge tells the lawyer, before your client, the former president of the United States, the leading candidate and obvious nominee for the Republican Party, before he takes the stand to defend himself, Ms. Habba, tell me the questions you're going to ask in open court and tell me exactly what he's going to respond. And then edited my questions, edited the response he was allowed to give. And guess what my client did? He took the stand. He abided by the rules of this corrupt system that I've seen. We will immediately appeal. We will set aside that ridiculous jury. And I just want to remind you all of one thing. I will continue with President Trump to fight for everybody's First Amendment right to speak. Everybody's a right to defend themselves when they are wrongfully accused and to be able to say, I didn't do it. And to double and triple and quadruple down and say, this is wrong. This is wrong. But we are in the state of New York. We are in a New York jury, and that is why we are seeing these witch hunts,
Blue
these
state,
hoaxes,
Democratic.
as he calls them. And this is another one of them.
Election year, blue state, Democratic.
Where they know they will get juries like this. It will not deter us. We're fighting, and I agree you, we didn't vote today, but we will. That was made in there, and the behavior I saw in there, some of which was reported widely today, gave us the most perfect record on appeal, and even if I needed it, which I don't, we were stripped of every defense, every single defense before we walked in there. And I am proud to stand with President Trump because he showed up, he stood up, he took the stand, and he faced this judge.
At least he showed up.
Continue to do so with him.
Not like the other side not showing up.
Of course,
Hunter Biden.
The former president does not live his life in fear, as you've seen every single day. The former president and probably future president will continue to fight for Americans. Thank you very much, everybody.
Okay, everyone. Now, again, my understanding from what she's saying, and again, my understanding generally, it's election year, Democratic state, election year. Okay? Level of arbitration supposed to give us all a sense of security and comfort, knowing that there will be justice from right from wrong, right? And whenever you see things like this happening, it's scary because you see corruption in the local courts, and therefore the court system itself is not allowing for due process. So that can be very scary, even for the little guys like us out here. So basically, what we're seeing is it goes to the local courts, which again incentives can be given to the local courts to play for either party, Republican, Democratic, doesn't matter. But they can go and decide to pick a side, which is wrong. And then it can be appealed to the Supreme Court, which it takes time. And usually when you go to the Supreme Court, it's not perfect there, but usually all evidence, it's due process is allowed, majority in Supreme Court. So majority of times things like this, which has been happening to Trump within the last few years, it gets thrown out. And we've seen it over and over again. So the Democratic Party has planned this out. And again, it's election year. They've planned this out to where this is going to take a while during election year before it goes to the Supreme Court. So for now, the guilty verdict is going to be the narrative that's pushed on the mainstream media. So all you hear is guilty, 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 guilty. And that's what's going to be consensus or what's set for the next few months, hoping it goes all the way close to the election so people can make a decision when they vote based on a guilty verdict, guilty verdict. Whereas if it goes to the Supreme Court and evidence is allowed and discovery is allowed, just like all the other cases, it will get thrown out. And trust me, I know it because I speak to a lot of people when I'm out on the road, and the first thing they repeat is guilty, guilty, because they're just repeating the information handed given to them by the mainstream media, and they're not looking at this, and they're not going into details to understand this will be appealed in the Supreme Court and most likely thrown out because, again, as she says, the evidence and expert witnesses are not being allowed to be exposed in the court. They're blocking every single thing, due process, from happening. So again, that's the plan. They know it's going to be appealed to to the Supreme Court, so they hope within the next few months. It takes months to happen. So within that time frame, everyone will just be hearing guilty, guilty because of this local court, and that will make people's minds form who they're gonna vote for election. So it's corruption, election interference, basically. So again, I'm just bringing this clip here so at least you can hear the information from the other side directly from her mouth. Maybe you can say she's lying. Well, here what? At least you're hearing the information, and she's speaking on live television, so it should give some reason to listen to the information. Again, you gotta weigh both sides, peer review, peer analysis, reasoning within information so you can make an informed decision. Okay, so that's my purpose here, to bring information from the other side so you can weigh and reason within the information and evidence and everything. Bringing, and please go to my YouTube channel, NYRON'S Forum, NYRON' Forum, and look at the videos, and please like and subscribe. Okay, and I'm going to be making a few more videos, well, several more, trying to bring information again from the other side. Okay, thank you.